Welcome, 8th graders. I am so pumped to be hanging out with you today. Okay, I promise there is no pop quiz at the end of this, but you're definitely going to be tested on this material in the hallways this week. Today, we're diving into some pretty challenging but absolutely essential biblical principles from Romans chapter 12. And I really want you to tune in here because we aren't just talking about abstract ideas. We're talking about how you navigate the very real, very messy world of human relationships. Let's get into it.
So have you ever just really wanted to get back at someone who hurt you? Be honest. Whether it's typical middle school drama, maybe someone starting a rumor about you in a group chat, dealing with a bully, or just facing totally unfair treatment from a friend. That urge for revenge, it's a completely natural human feeling. When somebody hurts us, our immediate knee-jerk reaction is to want them to hurt too, right? I want to validate those feelings for a second. It is entirely normal to feel angry when you're wronged. But, as we're going to see, having a feeling and acting on it, well, those are two very different things.
Section 1. The urge for revenge, flesh versus spirit.
All right, let's name that urge for revenge exactly what it is. The Bible actually describes this as a massive, ongoing battle inside you between the flesh and the spirit. On one side, we have the flesh. That's our earthly, human nature, and it desperately wants to repay hurt with hurt. When a classmate acts incredibly mean, the flesh says, hey, say something meaner, or, maybe accidentally trip them in the cafeteria. But on the other side, the Spirit calls followers of Jesus to live completely differently. If you've placed your faith in Jesus, you aren't meant to operate by the rules of the flesh anymore. You're called to step up, live by the Spirit, and respond in a way that, let's be real, probably feels entirely unnatural at first.
Section 2. Blessing your enemies, the command in Romans 12.
So, let's see how this builds into a very specific and honestly super difficult command from the Apostle Paul on exactly how to handle the people who mistreat us. He writes in Romans 12:14, "Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse." Just let that sink in for a second. Bless them. This isn't just about biting your tongue or ignoring them. This is a deliberate, proactive spiritual choice. It means actually choosing to ask God to work in their lives rather than tearing them down with your words. It completely goes against our natural instincts, I know, but it is literally one of the most powerful things a believer can do.
Section 3. Rejecting evil. Choosing love. What love actually means. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're like, wait, does this mean I just let people walk all over me and pretend everything is fine? Absolutely not. Let's clear up a massive misconception about what loving an enemy actually requires. Loving your enemies does not mean agreeing with evil. You don't have to pretend that toxic, wrong actions are suddenly okay. God still hates evil. The Bible tells us to abhor, which means to fiercely hate what is evil and cling to what is good. We set strict boundaries. But here's the catch. We must also show mercy. That means we absolutely refuse to let someone else's toxic behavior turn us into an evil person in return. We don't compromise our own character just because someone else compromised theirs.
So how do we actually pull this off? Well, Paul gives us some highly practical steps for living peaceably with everyone, at least as much as it depends on you. Number 1, speak carefully. Don't let your anger dictate your words. Number 2, forgive. Honestly, this is for your own heart, so you don't have to carry around that heavy, exhausting weight of bitterness. Number 3, avoid revenge. Just step back and let God handle the justice part. And number 4, act to please the Father. Even if the other person keeps choosing conflict, keeps being difficult, you just keep focusing on obeying God. Remember, you are only responsible for your own actions, not theirs.
Section 4. Overcoming evil with good, the ultimate strategy. Okay, so the crucial point is figuring out exactly how we win this daily battle against the urge to retaliate, whether you're walking the halls at school or just scrolling online. This is your memory verse for the day, and it is a powerful one. Romans 12:21. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Listen, evil should never ever be allowed to control a believer's heart, words, or actions. If you let someone else's cruelty make you cruel, then evil has overcome you. But through God's grace and His Spirit, you have the power to respond with goodness. And guys, that is how you actually win.
Think of it like equipping a literal spiritual shield to guard your heart. What's this shield made of? Well, it's forged from mercy, giving kindness someone hasn't earned. Prayer, actually talking to God about your pain instead of gossiping about it. Forgiveness, letting go of the debt they owe you. Self-control, holding back that nasty text message you really want to send. And obedience, doing what honors Jesus Christ even when it is incredibly hard. That shield, it protects you from becoming the very thing that hurt you.
Section 5. Work in Progress Salvation, the middle school training ground.
Now, if you're sitting there thinking, wow, this sounds incredibly hard to do, don't worry, I know it is. Think of work in progress salvation as the lifelong process after your born-again experience. When you trust Jesus, you are saved, right? But your character is still very much a work in progress. You're continuing to grow in love, in holiness, patience, forgiveness, and obedience. Think of middle school as your training ground. God literally uses those difficult classmates, those frustrating relationships, and all those awkward moments to train you to live more like Jesus. He's building up your spiritual muscles so you can live a life that truly pleases the Father.
Section 6. The Godly Learner, HeroesMart Academy Philosophy.
This brings us perfectly to our core philosophy here at HeroesMart Academy, and exactly why learning this biblical morality is just as important as your math equations or your science homework. Romans 8:6-7 gives us the anchor for our entire educational approach. It says, "For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace." If your mind is constantly focused on worldly things, the carnal things, the fleshly desire for revenge, it just leads to ruin. But keeping your mind spiritually minded, that is the absolute secret to true life and deep peace.
Here at HeroesMart Academy, we intertwine biblical morality with your education for a very specific reason. Education without morality can actually hurt you. Honestly, it can make you dangerous. Knowledge and intelligence are amazing tools, but their true purpose is to help you make wise, God-honoring choices, not just to make you more capable of getting your own way. We want you to pursue absolute academic excellence, yes, but we want you to do it while keeping your mind totally centered on God, on truth, on wisdom, and on making righteous choices. Because intelligence plus biblical morality, that is what equals a God-honoring life.
So 8th graders, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to take with you into the rest of your week. The very next time you face conflict, and trust me, you definitely will, you have a choice. Will you let your enemies make you bitter, or will you let God use them to make you better? The choice is entirely up to you. Choose the Spirit, overcome evil with good, and guard your heart. You've got this. Have a great rest of your day.